Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to be doing the bridal makeup trial with all the makeup that I bought yesterday. And some that I have that, is not out of my collection yet. Um, but I pretty much bought it all. Yeah. So I am super duper excited. So I have my skincare and my makeup here. Let me do something really quick because I gotta do something. Alright, so let's get started. So, first up, first up, we have the e.l.f. Gentle Peeling Exfoliant right here. This has papaya and tangerine extracts. It also has licorice root, so it's supposed to help brighten skin. Oh my gosh. This feels so weird. So, and I do have a mirror, by the way. Alright. A little on the nose. Like, you can smell everything it has. So, it's giving me a headache already. I usually don't. I don't know why it is today. I guess it has something with me, already having a headache. And that was gross. So, some of the stuff, skin and stuff, that's like coming off my face is already going on to my, still a little bit more on the, and I do have my ring on. I might want to take my ring off for this, because this tutorial trial thing is going to be a long one. I want to make sure everything's perfect, because if I use everything that's here, um then I gotta, you know what I mean. So I gotta make sure that if I like it and stuff, that it goes in my bag. So next item is the e.l.f. Keep Your Balance Toner from the Holy Hydration line. This is all but one from the Holy Hydration line. I need to buy more toner anyways. This just helps really clean my skin more, or dirty it up with the makeup anyways. But you know what I mean. But and it also helps me get any of that exfoliant that I have. Helps me get whatever I have, whatever exfoliant I have left on my face off my face. Alright. So I will do the lip scrub in a minute, the lip exfoliator in a minute. Alright. So I'm going to do the e.l.f. Vitamin C Serum. This is an antioxidant enriched skin protectant. It smells like orange juice. So this I like to watch myself put on, so I know I don't put on too much. So a drop here. Blend it into my skin. And then it dries down and goes into your skin pretty fast. And this is a really good serum. And if you want to buy any of this stuff for like if you know you're getting married and everything, I'll put prices down, or I'll link everything down below what of every product and where you can get them. I would recommend the e.l.f.'s website personally, just because the e.l.f.'s website you can get deals and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can get deals and stuff and all that good stuff. I mean, you can get deals and discounts at drugstores too, but the e.l.f. website is really good too because you can also get free stuff if you get so much, if you order so much, or if your order's so much or something like that. I don't really remember. There it is. And this is nice. The skincare, I'm more than likely going to use all of the skincare part. So now we can do the lip scrub part really quickly. And it's the e.l.f. lip the e.l.f. lip exfoliator and brown sugar, or the scent flavor. Is brown sugar. There we go. I'm gonna leave that on for a few minutes while we go into the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Eye Cream. This has hyaluronic acid and peptides, which I've feel like straight. Just a little bit here, and a little bit there. So you wanna, I would recommend using your middle finger to rub it in. But to actually pat it in, I'd recommend using your ring fingers because it has the less contraction. So be good enough for your delicate eyes, which is just a really good eye cream too. But so I'm telling you right now, my lips instantly feel softer after just one use of this exfoliator. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Face cream with the broad spectrum SPF 30 in it. I heard that sometimes SPF 30 can give you flashbacks. I have tested this, and it smells like it has sunscreen in it. I have tested this. This does not give flashback. So we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes. And then we can get right into the last skincare and into the makeup. The other reason I said this is gonna be a long tutorial is because I want to make sure, like I said, I want to make sure I do everything right, and because of the fact that I'm doing a brow pomade when I've never done a brow pomade before, I want to make sure I do it right. Now I'm gonna set down that plate. So we might as well just use the next thing, which is the Heritage Store Rose Water Refreshing Facial Mist. It says reawakens skin and mood, suits with damask roses. For all skin types, it's vegan and cruelty free, and it's free of dyes and alcohol. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not a fine mist, which is fine, but it does feel really soothing and everything. I like to use it sometimes too. But this is really soothing and stuff. I guess that just kind of helped. Alright, so now we're going into brows. Brows, brows, brows. One brow, two brow brows. After I answer my fiance. So first, I'm going into the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe. This is just going to help outline my brows. So then I know where to put the brow pomade when I use it. And, you know, I'm not worried about going too high or too low from the lines. So I just bullet through my brows to get them all in one. Go in one direction. Now I'm going to use the pencil part and start drawing on the skin. And this is more precise now because it has the tip to it for now. And this is so creamy enough. This brow pencil is so creamy enough that it draws on skin so well. You see how I outlined the brows. I could have done it a little closer, but it works. Like I said, this draws on skin so well. So easy. This shade is a great outline shade. So since I'm not really filling in my brows with this pencil, the shade works nicely. If I were to use this, kind of fill in my brows with this pencil, I would worry more about the color. But since I'm not, and I'm always going to go back through, fix mistakes where I need them. Need to. So this is going to the maybe pile. So I'm going to spoolie through my brows one last time. Or another time. Or second time, whatever you want to call it. With the little brush that came with the brow pomade. Just to make sure they all are going the same direction and everything. Now I'm going to do one brow at a time. And again, this is the Milani brow pomade in the shade Soft Brown. Which actually looks more like a blonde than a true brown. which I think is why it's so good for blondes. So it looks more natural. So I'm just gonna fill in my brows like I normally would with the pencil with the brow pomade. And then we'll blend it out. And everything when we're done. This feels nice. This feels easy to use. I mean, hold on. I'll show you the difference when I'm done. I mean, I know I also got brow pencil around and everything. But I mean, just look at the difference. How thicker my brows look and everything. My brows are not thick anymore. So then I'm just going to slowly through. Alright, so I do have a mistake to fix. This is going in the maybe pile too. And then here's the brush maybe pile. My brows do not look even at all, so good thing I have a makeup one. So all I'm gonna have to remember is, you know, if I ever do this again, if I ever do this again, for the wedding to um not go so high with the pencil. Alright. So now we are going to use a little bit of the concealer above my eyebrows. For this, we're going to use the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush to blend it out. Find it. So we have the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. So we're going to do a little at a time. That's the reason I said that. And I'm going to let you know now, not all my brushes are clean. I got the brushes that I needed to use for this tutorial done. So, that's all I care about at the moment. I'll finish my brushes later. Like, most of them are clean. So now we're going to do the other side. And that breeze fan thing is making me cold. So I got on, I'm going to connect them right here. So I got onto e.l.f.'s website yesterday to go if I got the right shade of the foundation that I wanted to try. And I did. It pretty much said I was the same shade as my concealer, which is pretty weird, but I'm just gonna go with it. Alright, so now we're gonna use the concealer to do eyeshadow primer. I don't remember it smelling like that, so not a big turn off for me. Not even a turn off at all. So, looking at these brows, I can definitely see why someone could want to set them. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. Oh my fucking god! Sorry. Yes, 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 yes! My aunt just seen something on Facebook about little decorations, and there was a Stitch clock! My dad loves Stitch, and I gotta work with this quickly. This does dry down pretty fast because it is a matte, and matte formulas, did not know this, but matte formulas tend to dry down pretty fast. And I'm not using any like um what is it called? I can't think now. So this is the Maybe product. And oh, I'm not using any damp sponges. All my sponges here are dry sponges. Sorry, I was trying to think what I was trying to say. But they are dry sponges, so I'm using dry sponges. If I had damp sponges, it might be a lot better. But it wouldn't in a way too. This is a pretty full coverage matte concealer. Okay. So now we are going to, or I'm going to use my powder and my setting brush that is clean. The Maybelline Fit Me loose finishing powder and Fairlight. Finally take this tab off for now. But the problem is, this powder can get pretty messy pretty quick. Like in the cap and everything. The reason I want to use my brush instead of my powder puff is because I just want to do it. But this is a pretty good powder. I do like it, or I do love it actually. It's a pretty good formula. I don't think it gets cakey. I don't. It might get cakey throughout the day. I think that's it. Doesn't really get cakey. So that's good. Now we're going into my big palette for eyeshadow here. So we got 3 eyeshadow brushes. And we're going into the Profusion Cosmetics makeup book. I opened it upside down. So here we go. Here's what it looks like. Okay, let's get started. So first we're going, or I have 4 brushes. What am I doing? 4. There we go. We're going to take the angled crease brush and we're going into the shade called Snatched, which is this yellow shade right here. And this is just gonna help keep everything light and everything with this eyeshadow look. Anyways, so this is just to keep everything nice and light and sealed and everything. Okay, so now we're going to dip into the eyeshadow, making it beautiful. Okay, so I'm kind of torn here. So, do I want porcelain or baby? Alright, we're going to go in with the shade right here, which is called Baby Doll. We're going to use a fluffy crease brush here. It's pretty much the crease brush we're going to use the whole tutorial. Because it makes everything so much easier to blend. So this is going to go all over. So it's going to go right here. And I might do one more. Sorry. I might do one more trial after this. I don't know. I might. I don't know. I hope I do because this is just so much fun. These tutorials, these looks are so much fun. And I might, you know, do one to where I teach you how to do wedding makeup. I might learn how to actually do wedding makeup. And you know, just teach you looks, teach you how to do it. Instead of just going off what I do. Alright. So I had to layer that shade twice because it's so close to my skin tone. Um, but it's fine. I didn't mind. Because it's not like anything's getting cakey or anything. Or patchy. So, it definitely works. But yeah. So, yeah. This is great. So, so fantastic. I forget I had powder contour too, so I might do some powder contour over my contour and then bronze the rest. You never know what I do. So I might change it a little bit from what I have written down on my Google Docs. And I'm sorry that this is going to be a long tutorial, but there's so much detail and stuff in wedding makeup that is just like you have to. You know what I mean? So now we're going to go into the shade next to Snatch, which is right here, which is called Nesting. Which is just going to help darken up this lid a little bit. This is going to be a more nude crease and a little bit of color on the lid. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's so good. But it's such a good shade. I'm telling you. This whole palette is like great quality. Like, I've tried everything. And the nice thing is, this palette helps go through a lot of different skin tones. So it's like, you know, hey, if you know I want to go do my friend's makeup or my aunt's makeup, I have it. So, I'll be right back. This fan is driving me crazy. Okay, I'm back. So now let's finish the crease. Well, actually, let's use the e.l.f. blending brush really quick to help blend this out a little bit. I'm trying to find like places I need to blend, which is not many places. Alright. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. So now we're going to go in the shade Under Snatched, which is Cinema. And this is the shade we're going to use to finish up the crease. Alright, so you're going to need... So this shade you need to use sparingly and really blend with your brush. You can also use the e.l.f. blending brush, which I definitely will after this. Which is why I like these fluffy crease brushes. So much easier to use. So like I said, I'm going to blend it again. This time really blend it. Not blend it away into nothing, but just to where it looks smooth and everything. So now we're going to use this flat top brush here. And we are going to go into Bridesmaid. This shade right here. Right there. I'm going to go into Bridesmaid, which is perfect for a wedding. I'm just stamping it on. Stamping on helps get the most pigment, but still light enough. So it's not going to be too heavy and just not what we want. So now we're going to close the palette for now. We're going to just clean up any fallout I have. On my eyes. Which is why I don't use skincare unless it's really soaked in my skin. So now we're going into color correcting. So now we're going into the no, we're not. Going into eyeliner and mascara. So I got the little brush that goes with it. And we're going into the Maybelline New York Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner. It's so tiny. And we're gonna dip, 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 dip. We're going to see how it flies. Very creamy. Very, very creamy. I love how it has an angled brush. I know that I didn't do it the way I normally do with eyeliner. I'm sorry. But it's very creamy. I love how the brush is angled, just like a normal eyeliner brush is. It's not hard to work with at all. So, and I love how the product lasts so long before you have to dip the brush in again. So that's good. Right. Of course, I'm going to share my thoughts with what I have not used yet. Like I said, extremely creamy. Okay. That was good. I like that a lot. And it's supposed to last for 24 hours. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Big Mood Waterproof Mascara. So we're gonna try not to get any mascara smudge marks. Anywhere. And with waterproof mascaras, it's a lot easier not to get mascara smudge marks everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's applying easy. Feels like it's a drier formula just because it's a waterproof mascara. I like it. Now, is it really waterproof? As it says, we'll see. No, well, I guess under the eyes a little bit is smudging. Alright, now color correctors. So, going into the green one first, and I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. I'm gonna apply each one to my face separately. So we're going into the green one first for our redness. Oh my gosh. That just instantly covered it. I mean, blending will be the real test. And I'm going to use a sponge like this. It's a lot easier to blend. No redness whatsoever on that cheek. Really creamy formula, easy to apply. Look at the applicator, easy to apply. Definitely an A plus for me. So this green one. So for sure for now they're all an A plus, just because the green one performed so well. We'll see how the rest perform. And then on my chin is a little bit of redness on my chin. Like, these are nice. I like these. So far, I like these. I'm gonna have a lot of makeup on this sponge. So now the yellow, which is supposed to help with dullness. So I'm gonna put it right above onto the concealer. It turned green because of the previous color corrector. Just above and then onto. Okay, that's better because there's not so much green on it now. So now This one, it pretty much just goes where you're contouring. This yellow one does. But it's a great formula. Don't get me wrong. Oops, I messed up. Oopsie. I was supposed to apply primer first, so I guess we're just gonna see how this goes. I don't know, redo it. Alright, so I'm going into the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer and the Putty Primer applicator. Just so because I just opened this primer, it is a little thick on the thicker side. Oh, oops, I messed up. Oh well. Maybe it wasn't working too. Well, it was working, but you know what I mean. So. I mean, that doesn't look like to be going off my... And I'm putting this all over my face. Just because it's a matte formula, so I'm essentially mattifying my face. So now that I know that, it's okay, I made the mistake. Now I know that. And you're supposed to put it after primer. We're gonna fix it now. That's why I should have looked it up before. Pretty much just taking it off. So. And I'm not mad. You know, if it was the last bit of the color corrector, you would figure it out though. How to do this after the last bit. Before the last bit, I should say. But say I'm the type of person who don't wear primer all the time. Know what I mean? I already know I like that. Try this again. I'm actually only gonna do 2 lines this time, so there's not so much. I'm gonna try to clean off as much of what I already have on my sponge off. That just made it disappear. So, like I said, these color characters are nice. Well, at least the green and yellow one are nice. I mean, I guess since it's the same formula, just different um, color. They would all be nice. If one's nice, they're all nice. And then just to know how it really works underneath foundation without concealer, I'm not going to do the whole concealer before foundation thing, especially because I don't need it. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna go like that and just put it as a mask and then blend it up. And instead of using this type of sponge, use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. Actually, seems to work. I mean, it didn't really hide my under circles, so a little bit more. These are really thin formula. This is a really thin formula. So I guess don't do it underneath do it on the under eye part, not underneath. See, it's not very peachy to me, but it's fine. Alright, so now, big moment on another product. The e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is a medium buildable coverage, long lasting. It has a hibiscus complex. So, and I got the shade Fair Warm. So I'm going to put this on the back of my hand. This is a satin finish. I'm going to use a stipple brush to stipple it on. This is definitely medium coverage. You can still kind of see through it. So for a wedding, you would probably want to build this up. Honestly, I would probably build this up. And if it was actually my actual wedding day, I would build this up. But the stippling on, kind of just looks cute. And it looks airbrushed, which is the type of look I'm going for my wedding. So, this might be a good foundation. You get exactly 1 fluid ounce of foundation. They still have their original foundation. My Walmart, where I got all this makeup from, didn't have it in stock. Like, there is not a spot for it anymore. So I guess they're getting most of the older makeup that's been out for years out of their store because they don't have enough room, and then bringing all the new stuff. But yeah, this is definitely medium coverage. You can still pretty much see through it. So I wouldn't call it full. A full coverage would be not being able to see through it. But this is good. This is definitely nice. So the reason I'm not gonna do more than what I have on is because I have a what's it called? I have more coverage to add. That's what I'm trying to say. But this is a great match for me. I don't know what I was so worried about. But this is such a great match for me. So Overall, such a great foundation. I'm glad, glad I decided to try this. All this makeup, actually. So, now we're going to go into under eye concealer, which is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. Like I said yesterday, it's not too bad of a shade. For me. And while we're at that, out there doing that, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand. In the shade Fair Light. Or not marinate. And I'm using an e.l.f. contouring brush to blend it out. This is such a great contour. And I have made the decision that I am for sure going through, and I'll have to find a different brush and chisel with more of some contour powder when I put the powder on, just so everything's powdered and I don't have to go between contour and bronzer. It's contour, bronzer, and then just bronzer. And the reason I said I would have to find a different brush is so I don't mix the contour and the bronzer together. It's two separate brushes. And all that. Alright. So, now we're going on the forehead. This is already leaked a little bit. Then we'll go ahead and do the sides with the nose too. So, I will not be letting you guys know what products I really am using, because I'm doing a video next year after the wedding, sometime after the wedding and honeymoon and all that, of how I did my makeup. So really quickly, I'm going to blend out this concealer. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That looks so pretty. Alright. So, contouring is not done. I just... It's done for now. So, now we're gonna do liquid blush, which I completely forgot to get a sponge yesterday for this. I want this one. Bunch of sponges fell out of that bag. So, yeah, my nose really good. We're going into the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush and the shade Dusty Rose. I'm just doing one dot, putting it back in, and blending it. See why I'm using only one dot? It's extremely pigmented. Like, extremely pigmented. Not, so not making my pores look bigger, which it shouldn't. But let me do one more dot. And 2 dots should be enough. And this is a nude blush, so it's gonna... on a little... like, nude. That looks perfect. I gotta find a powder blush that will go perfect with this cream blush. It was a big dot. Alright, I don't know if I need any more on that side. But this does look extremely pretty. Just letting you know right now. Alright. Really good pee. Alright, so now liquid highlighter, if I can find it really quick. There it is. We're going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Highlight Wand and Liquid Gold. There we go. So whatever brushes I use, slash sponges I use in today's tutorial with this makeup are the brushes that I will use for the wedding, or have my cousin use for the wedding. So whatever brushes I use for that product, I will use for the wedding. I use the product. Alright. Wow. Anyways, I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. I don't want any, I want powder highlighter here and here and up here and right there, but I don't want any liquid. Liquid's just on here and then put powder on top. So, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. And, it's the fishies. It's the fishies! It's the fishies! I got fish over here. It's the fishies. Sorry, I get excited every time I see them out because I love them so much. They're my babies. Just like my kitty did. So. Alrighty. So, I do have a powder brush for my neck. That's about it for the powder brush. And this powder also does add more coverage just because it has color to it. It's a great fine powder. I love it. Like I said, I love this powder. I'm gonna do one more go on the sides. Okay. So now I'm gonna use my powder puff for the rest of my face. I'm not baking today because I feel like just normally setting it will do just because we do have that matte. Baking, I feel like for me, baking's more if I don't have a matte uh, primer on. But since I do have a matte primer on, I don't need to bake today. with a powder puff, you're pressing it into your skin. I might still have some fallout. I might still have some loose powder on my skin. But for the most part, it should be pressed in. And you know, if the foundation didn't self-set like it did, I'd also be baking. But since that's self-set, I don't need to bake. I'm good. With just really pressing it into my skin. Know what I mean? And the stippling brush pretty much helped press it into my hairline. So that's why I didn't use a so I am going to use the setting brush to go over everything. I'm just lightly going over every single part of my face. And I'm going to say I probably had some fallout. Alright, so now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Angled Foundation Brush. And we're going into that Profusion palette. We're going into Light Sculpt, which is this very first one here. And with this angled foundation brush, we're going to go over what we already did. And we're also going to use the setting brush to help blend it out. The setting brush is nice for everything. This is just to help make sure that the cream stays all day. It's like an extra setting part. So I'm going to essentially be down some brushes and sponges. I'm just blending it in and stuff. There we go. I know this is a lot for bridal makeup, but bridal makeup's a lot, is sometimes a lot more. Now I'm gonna take this brush and lightly put it at the sides of my nose. There's a lot more in the bridal makeup than people realize. Yes, less is more in bridal makeup. That rule definitely applies a lot in bridal makeup. Which is why there's a lot of blending in mine. Alright, so powder blush. No, let's do bronzer first. Alright, which is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I have this angled brush here. It's only gonna sculpt out. I'm only gonna sculpt out my jawline here with this bronzer. Okay. Anyways, so bronzer is all done. Now powder blush and highlight and all that. So here is our blushes down here. So the one that's best for this one is Lover. Lightly dust it like that. I'm gonna dust it like this. So this definitely makes it really easy. You know what? I might show you what I'm using for another, in case I do another. I'm gonna say this is what I'm narrowing it down to in case I do another trial. This is what I'm using in that trial type thing. Alright. So now, powder highlighter, we're going to go into Exceptional, which is the last one. That's a golden highlighter. like to kind of squeeze the bristles together and then go like that. Powder highlighter is just so more natural than cream. Alright. So now we got lips, which is the e.l.f. Glossy Lip Stain. And I have the shade Power Mauve. So essentially now it's just setting spray. Which is the e.l.f. Stay All Night. So here is the finished product. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video when I show you what I'm using in case I do another trial. But other than that,